Hi, Lindsay. But yeah, that's it for the preamble. Let's get into it, guys. Let's go ahead and get into my number 10 movie, and that's gonna be a very recent one, and that is The Green Knight. Now, I did IF and Love Cinema, pretty lengthy one actually for that series a few weeks ago. So this is the one I'm probably going to talk the least about. There's going to be a lot of like reasons why I love that movie in that list or in that video. If you want to see it, I'm just going to go ahead and just touch on a couple of the big points here very briefly. I saw this movie for Miyazaki. That's the thing. I mean, I've only seen Ponyo, Kiki's Delivery Service, My Neighbor Totoro, and that's it. I need to see more. I've loved them all, by the way. I need to see more Ghibli movies for sure. Miyazaki really does have a magic, especially Ponyo. Man, god damn, Ponyo. Okay, now I'm talking about a different movie, but Green Knight. Yeah, Green Knight. This is a movie that I fell asleep watching in the theaters 4 or 5 times, and it's not because the movie was boring. It was because I was really high. It was super high when I went to go see it. But like after a while, like the thing is, I kept coming back for a reason, right? Like everything that I saw of it each time was just like super instantly. As soon as I woke up, I was like, oh fuck, what's going on? And just uh so like engaging and just like instantly without like just looking at it for 2 seconds, just captured my imagination every time that I woke up watching it. um but so the fifth time that I went to go see it in theaters, I decided to go sober, and it was an incredibly powerful experience, because oh yeah, The Green Knight. Not only does it look amazing, but it's a great movie. It's a movie that essentially um gives like well this is something that's probably going to come up a few times moving forward, but it's a movie that treats its main character like a little shit because he's a little shit, and it's a movie about someone who starts off being kind of really selfish, really doesn't care about much but himself, and then it's like I mean, there's a lot of ambiguity in this movie, but my read of it is like his mom being like, "Okay, I gotta get this. I gotta get this. I gotta kick this kid in the ass or something." Oh, thank you, Uber Comrade. Thank you. So yeah, that's how the movie kicks off, and it's ultimately a movie about legacy, about legend, and it's about how we define ourselves. And what this movie does really well is that it presents those sort of values that society, celebrates, and especially that we essentially especially ascribe to men, those certain characteristics that we view as noble and stuff like that. Like they get deconstructed in very interesting ways, in ways that are incredibly humanizing, in ways that are reflective, that make you reflect a lot and on your relationship with those concepts and all those things. I mean, one thing for me that I really related to when I was watching this movie, I really saw a lot of myself back when I was, actively making movies. I'm still, I still want to make a movie. I'm planning on making a movie sometime soon. But back like in my early 20s, like back to back to back to back, movie after movie, and I was so dedicated to it because I was like, this is my dream. Like this is what's going to define me, and this is who I am. And don't get me wrong, like that chapter of my life is a whole ass story. So I'm not going to bore you guys with the detail here. Maybe some other time. But when I was I guess more of an active filmmaker. It's hard to say that I'm not because I'm not done. I've never gave up on it. It's just life got in the way. But anyways, yeah, like when I was doing that, I was definitely chasing this greatness. And don't get me wrong, like I'm really proud of my movies. A lot of people have a lot of things to say about them, but I love my movies. I'm very proud of them. And the thing is that like I was so inexperienced. I was so inexperienced, and I didn't understand that at the time because I was so young and naive, right? But I was young and naive, and it's crazy that I even made those movies because I've gone through so little. The fact that I made those movies and that they were like these things, like it's crazy, right? And for a long time, for reasons that I won't get into here, when that was taken away from me, well, I mean, that's kind of what happened. Like, I used to have like a $10,000 worth of film equipment. I made 3 movies with that, made a couple of music videos with that as well. And then when I was literally like the day that I finished editing my third film, Escaping a Spinning Room, I went to a party, and luckily, like, I had it up, like it was uploaded, and I had it like a copy there. And don't get me wrong, I uploaded everything, so I was able to go back a year later and finish it and put it together. It's on YouTube now. But yeah, when that was taken away from me, I thought, like, I went through this huge identity crisis, man. Like, I started partying a lot. I started doing a bunch of dumb shit because, like, it felt like someone took something from me, and it sent me into this despair, and I had to crawl myself from that despair to where I am now. And when I see the Green Knight, like, I see myself in Guy Wan kind of going through that journey of, like, he really, like, starts off and he doesn't even understand how good he has it, and then he's troubled, and at the end, depending on how you read that movie, how you read the ending, either he cowered out, or he fucking lived up to the moment. And the best part about it, right, is the way I read the ending is very optimistic. It's an ambiguous ending. I'm not going to ruin anything here. I'll let you guys watch it. But what I loved about my interpretation of the ending is that it's kind. Is that it's so throughout all that time of my life, I kept like doubling down on like being my worst self, because it was constantly like, well, like, I'm already doing this, I might as well do that and all that shit, because I was so fucking hard on myself, because I was so disappointed in, like, yeah, like, they took my shit, but like it was a whole thing. And so that didn't end for me until I let myself be kind to myself and to others, and I let others be kind to me, and I allowed that, and I accepted that for the first time in my life. And to me, that's why I love the this movie so much. It's about a guy who does not become whole until he understands, like, his place in everything, and he had to earn that, through going on this journey that he probably should have gone on way earlier in his life, but better late than never, right? And yeah, that's why I love The Green Knight, and it's a movie that I just, like, every time I see it, it just helps me put more closure on that chapter of my life. And it makes me grateful also. It makes me grateful that I went through that I've explored the limits of who I am to their fullest extent. And now I have a good idea of who I am as a human being. And look, like I said, I have a movie that I'm like working on. So that's not gonna go away. But also, like, I love my life. I love the life that I made for myself. Like, I have, like, me and Lindsay are great. Like, I have a good job. Like, things are looking up for us. Like, things have never been better for my friends and my family. Like, everything's cool, man. Everything's good these days. And for a while, that wasn't gonna be so certain. So I understand, like, especially when it comes to this movie, the struggle and the journey. And it is a journey, and it feels like a journey, and it should feel like a journey to become whole and to become yourself wholly, completely, and unapologetically. And yeah, that's The Green Knight. That's why I love it so much. It's my number 10 favorite movie of all time. But that's a really heavy movie, so we're gonna go ahead and just go on to my number 9 movie,